in the year 988. Something extraordinary happened. 6,000 Vikings, fierce, battle-hardened warriors from the frozen north, walked through the gates of Constantinople, not as invaders, not as raiders, but as the most elite soldiers money could buy. For over 300 years, they stood guard over emperors. They defended the greatest empire on earth. They became legendary. Then, they vanished, without a trace. What happened to the Varangian Guard? Why did the most fearsome warriors of their age simply disappear from history? Today, we uncover a story so unlikely, so incredible, that even modern historians are still piecing it together. To understand the Varangian mystery, we have to travel back to the year 987. The Byzantine Empire is the most powerful civilization on Earth. Its capital, Constantinople, is the jewel of the known world. But Emperor Basil II has a problem. His own people are plotting against him, generals are rebelling. The imperial court is tearing itself apart from the inside. His Greek bodyguards are corrupt. They have families, connections, loyalties to powerful families, and they're using their position to take sides in court politics. The emperor realizes he can't trust anyone who's from here. So he does something radical. He looks north beyond his empire's borders to a land of ice and Vikings. He sends an ambassador to Vladimir the Great, the Russian prince. The message is simple. Send me your best warriors, your most loyal men. I will pay them handsomely. Vladimir agrees, but not for the reasons you'd think. Vladimir has a problem too. He has too many violent, unruly warriors he can't control, he can't afford to pay. Warriors who are constantly starting wars and causing chaos. Vladimir sees this as a solution to both problems. He tells these restless Vikings, there's an empire to the south, wealth beyond imagination, glory, riches. Go serve the emperor. In 988 Common Era, 6,000 Rus Vikings, descendants of Norse settlers, arrive in Constantinople. Nobody, not even the Vikings themselves, realizes they're about to become the most feared and respected force the empire has ever known. Within weeks of arriving, the Varangians, that's what the Byzantines called them, from the Old Norse word meaning sworn oath, prove their worth. Emperor Basil II takes them into battle against a rebel general named Bardas Phocas. What happens next becomes the stuff of legend. The battle is fierce, the outcome uncertain. Then, the Varangians charge. A Byzantine historian writes, they attacked with reckless rage, neither blood nor wounds seemed to matter to them. They hacked the fleeing enemy to pieces with such brutality that the rebels never recovered. Bardas Phocas dies on the battlefield, some say of a stroke, watching the Varangians slaughter his army. The rebels scatter, the rebellion ends. Basil II has his solution. A military force that is absolutely loyal because they have no family connections here. Terrifyingly effective because they're trained Nordic warriors. And corrupt proof because they speak no Greek and understand none of local politics. The Varangian Guard is officially formed, and they become unstoppable. Over the next 100 years, the Varangians fight in wars across the Byzantine Empire, Sicily, southern Italy. The Balkans, everywhere they go, they gain a reputation for terrifying effectiveness. Modern historians describe them with a mix of fear and fascination. The Scandinavians are frightening both in appearance and in equipment. They attack with superhuman strength. Some even enter a trance-like state of rage where they feel no pain. They're describing something the Norse called berserk, a psychological state that made them appear invincible. By the 11th century, the Varangian Guard has become the most powerful military force in Constantinople. They stand sentry at the bronze doors of the Great Palace. They protect the Emperor's most prized possessions. They serve as secret police dealing with traitors and conspiracies. And they accumulate immense wealth. Here's where the story gets interesting. When a Byzantine emperor dies, the Varangians have a unique privilege in Old Norse tradition called Polutusvarf, palace pillaging. They're allowed to run to the imperial treasury and take as much gold and as many gems as they can carry. Can you imagine? Elite soldiers, grown wealthy beyond imagination, now accumulating fortunes. This privilege actually encourages more and more young Norse warriors to seek service in Constantinople. They see the possibility of returning home as fabulously wealthy men. One of the most famous is Harald Hardrada. He arrives around 1030 and quickly rises through the ranks. He fights in 18 major battles. He earns titles, he gains wealth. Then something goes wrong. Harald is accused of embezzling imperial treasure. He's arrested, imprisoned. But when the current emperor is deposed, Harald is released. And according to some sources, he's the one sent to carry out the brutal punishment, blinding the former emperor. Harald realizes he needs to get out of there before becoming a victim of palace politics. He escapes Constantinople, returns to Scandinavia, and becomes king of Norway. But Harald's story is just one thread in a much larger tapestry. Here's where the mystery deepens. By the 12th century, something has changed. The early Varangians, pure Scandinavian warriors, are fewer, they're being replaced. After the Norman conquest of England in 1066, Anglo-Saxons start arriving. Then slaves. Then men of various ethnicities, all claiming the Varangian name. The Guard that once was uniquely Norse becomes increasingly diverse. More importantly, it declines in status and power. In 1071, something catastrophic happens. The Battle of Manzikert, the Seljuk Turks crush the Byzantine army. The emperor is captured, and almost all of the Varangians die defending him. The Guard is decimated, they survive and rebuild, but they're never quite the same. Then comes the Fourth Crusade in 1203. Christian crusaders, meant to reclaim the Holy Land, turn on Constantinople instead. They lay siege to the greatest Christian city in the world. The Varangians fight heroically, about 6,000 of them man the city walls. They hold the Crusaders off. They make victories, they fight with axes and swords in brutal hand-to-hand combat. But in April of 1204, the city falls. The emperor flees, the Varangians, left without a legitimate ruler to defend, lay down their weapons. Some sources suggest they joined the Crusaders, others claim they scattered into the countryside or tried to escape eastward. Some historical accounts hint that many Varangians, now wealthy, now integrated into Byzantine society, simply tried to survive for a brief moment. It seems the Varangian Guard might recover. In 1261, Byzantine forces recaptured Constantinople. A new emperor, Michael VIII Palaiologos officially reinstates the Varangian Guard. But something is different. They're not the same force. They're not the legendary axe-wielding warriors of old. By the 13th century, being a Varangian Guard becomes more of an honorary title than a real position. They become ceremonial figures, not battlefield warriors. And gradually, they disappear entirely. So what really happened? Here's what historians now believe. The Varangian Guard didn't die in one catastrophic moment. They didn't get wiped out in battle. They didn't abandon their post. Instead, they were slowly absorbed, assimilated, integrated into Byzantine society so completely that they stopped being a distinct identity. The great irony is this. The Varangians were so loyal, so effective at integrating into Byzantine society, that they literally became part of it. They didn't disappear in a blaze of glory. They didn't rebel or flee. They simply became Byzantine.